Hey everyone, what's up? It's Balloon. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hiya, happy Monday. Right, this isn't a video that I thought I would be making either today or in the next few days really, but it's a video that I'm going to make. So many people are talking about this right now. We're going to be talking about Creepshow Art. If you don't know, Creepshow Art is a YouTuber who makes commentary videos. I first became aware of Creepshow's content, I would say probably about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, when there was a lot of drama going on with Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, Tati Westbrook, James Charles, that whole Dramageddon 2 scandal. I first became of Creepshow Art back then. Now, Creepshow was making content that was kind of trying to paint James Charles as the victim in that whole situation. I don't know all of the full tea about this whole situation, but I do know that Creepshow Art was trying to paint James Charles as the victim in the situation and really dragging Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, Tati Westbrook in the content that she was making about this situation. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I know about the situation. As you can tell, I am just doing my face still. I've got my base down. I'm going to be carrying on with my makeup while we chat about this Creepshow Art situation. It's heavy. It's a lot to get into. I'm going to do the best that I can to cover it. I've never personally interacted with Creepshow Art. I did used to watch their content, I would say a year and a half, possibly 2 years ago, but not since then. You know, I kind of left her channel alone and didn't go back to it or anything. So I became aware of Creepshow Art's content back in the sort of Dramageddon 2 days, back in sort of 2019 time. I started watching some of her content, which, you know, I thought she was a good commentator. You know, I started to kind of enjoy her content. Then I just kind of lost interest and left the channel alone. So I started watching other creators, made my channel myself as well, all of that stuff. Then we are going to get into some stuff that's happened recently. Creepshow Art made a video on Stonewall, left out some actual facts about Stonewall. There were things missing. People are starting to point that out. She's being called out for a bit of a lack of research on that one. Then there is this whole entire situation, this whole entire drama with Creepshow Art and friends who they've apparently now really upset. There's people like Ready to Glare, Edwin Costa, D'Angelo Wallace, lots of creators who they were previously very friendly with that they've now really upset and made very angry, going by the responses that I'm seeing on Twitter. So I think perhaps the most alarming thing to come out of this Creepshow Art situation is Shannon Creepshow is claiming that she's got a stalker, that she's had a stalker that she's been dealing with for a few years. Now, there is a forum on the internet called Lolcow, and somebody has been going on this Lolcow forum either on Shannon's behalf or it is actually Shannon. We don't know as yet, but somebody's been posting on this Lolcow forum. It's been traced back to Shannon's IP address. Even though Shannon's moved, it's all been traced back to Shannon's IP address. So it looks as though somebody's been posting on an internet forum under Shannon's IP address. What's alarming about this is the post that they've been making, because there were a lot of transphobic comments. There's horrible stuff written about people who are or were Shannon's friends. The people I mentioned earlier, Edwin Costa, D'Angelo Wallace, Ready to Glare. There's horrible stuff written about all of them. There's a transphobic remark, which is now a slur used for transgender people. And Shannon just put that video up about Stonewall with Marsha P. Johnson in the thumbnail. So people are now really calling this out, because it obviously doesn't look good if you've gone on an internet forum, said something transphobic, and then you're trying to put out content all about Stonewall, advocating for the LGBT plus community with Marsha P. Johnson, who was a trans woman, in the thumbnail of that video. It's very messy and it's very kind of sketchy. You know, there are people out there who do believe Shannon's kind of side of this, but there are also a lot of people who don't believe Shannon's side of it. We're going to get into Shannon's side in a moment, but for now we're just going to talk a little bit more about the situation. So according to a thread that's been shared on Twitter publicly, Shannon, Creepshow Art, has been posting on Lolcow, a gossip site about influencers, since at least 2018. She was allegedly posting anonymously, but admins of that site outed her. The mods on the forum allegedly outed Shannon as some kind of punishment for pretending to be her own fans and her own haters, or so they believe. This thread that's been shared very publicly online also goes on to claim that Shannon's sister was in the intensive care unit in hospital. Shannon allegedly doxed her own sister for being too much of a social justice warrior. She posted insults towards her friends, Ready to Glare, D'Angelo Wallace and Edwin Costa, called people fat, autistic and other horrible stuff. So that was just a little bit of information in case you guys haven't seen that yet, in case you haven't watched any other videos on this topic yet. I mean, you know, I don't know if there's any truth in what's been said, but I mean, how scary if it is. If these mods from this Lolcow site have leaked this information, it's really, really quite scary. I mean, to dox your own sister, if that's what's happened, that's awful. You know, why would you do that to anyone, let alone your own sister? But Shannon has gone on her community tab on her YouTube channel and she's made a post in response to some of these claims. Shannon denies doxing anyone. I mean, there are people out there who don't believe Shannon. There are people out there who do believe Shannon. But Shannon denies doxing anyone, saying that she wouldn't do that to, like, her worst enemy. It's a very, very messed up situation because now a lot of Shannon's friends online are so angry. They're so upset. They're very hurt. I mean, if you heard all this coming out about somebody that you trusted, you would be. It's a wild, wild, crazy situation. You know, if this was a friend of yours who you'd built up a friendship with on YouTube over a couple of years, you know, you'd got to know them, you'd got to know their content, you thought you could trust them. This whole situation is very, very scary. You know, it just kind of goes to show that you really don't know who you're talking to when you're talking to somebody online, especially somebody who doesn't really show their face on their channel. I mean, that's why I always like to try and show my face at least most of the time on my channel so that you guys can see that I'm a real person. I'm here, you know, I'm not some kind of weird troll person. I am a genuine person. I'm me. I'm here, you know. So this is why I don't hide my face on my channel. You know, I'm not scared of saying the things that I say, and I'm not trying to pretend I'm something I'm not. You know, I'm here, I'm a real person. I sit here, I make my videos, I do my makeup. A lot of the time I'm doing, you know, funny kind of drama videos or something. You know, I do go into heavier topics as well, yeah, of course, but I prefer the lighter stuff normally, the stuff that's kind of public knowledge. This is a very kind of dark situation where you've got mods leaking posts from another internet forum. It's a forum that I've never been on, and it's a forum that I don't really even know what it is. I did go on and browse it last night just to check it out to see, oh yeah, it's a forum, you know, and that was about it. That was about as much kind of digging as I did into that situation. But this whole situation is very, very scary. People are claiming that Shannon has made this stalker, this Amy character up. Of course, Shannon is trying to deny that. So I'm going to get into the post that Shannon made on her community tab on her YouTube channel right now. Shannon wrote, "This post is just going up because I need to talk about this and let you know what's going on. Earlier today I got a message saying that I'd doxed a relative, that I'd been called out for saying certain things about myself and other creators and more on a hate forum, and I was confused. Because I hadn't done that. I would remember doing that, especially the doxing. That's so firmly against what I stand for, and I don't believe in doing that even to someone that I loathe. However, after being sent screenshots of what I allegedly said about me, myself, my friends, and most importantly my relative, I realised what had happened. A couple of years back, I made a video about how I had been stalked for over 8 years by a woman I called Amy. That's not her real name because I was protecting her identity. I talked in detail about that situation, how it affected me and what I had to do in that situation to keep myself safe. But I also discussed how Amy and I had kind of reconciled at the end of that and came to an understanding. She even liked the video and supported me making it. We kept in contact over the past couple of years, and I thought I kept a good amount of distance between us so that she couldn't hurt me again. Apparently, I'm really shitty at that. Obviously, I was wrong because she's gone back to doing what she's always done, which is tried to hurt me, tried to turn people in my life against me and salivate at the idea of me losing everything. She did this for years, even when I didn't have anything, to the point where when I was dating my husband, she sent him text messages telling him I was a horrible person and he should leave me. She made fake Facebook accounts to tell people about what a terrible person I was and spent years fucking with me to the point where I just wanted to end it. I had a sneaking suspicion she'd be going back to this earlier this year when I started receiving more and more images of self-harm and abuse in my inbox because that was one of the biggest things she would do to me. I didn't want to believe it though because I'm a polarising creator and some people on the internet just don't have boundaries. It's why I had to shut down my Instagram and low-key why I had to shut down Twitter. I've stated publicly and behind the scenes that the amount of harassment I've received has gone down by 100% since deleting Twitter, and I now know why. Because of Amy. So here again, Creepshow Art is insisting that this Amy, this stalker person does exist. I'm going to leave it up to you guys as to whether you think this Amy person does exist or not at this point. When she was harassing me in high school, I would get so many images of self-harm and self-injury that it would cause me to shut down emotionally, and I had confided in her back when we were friends. That was one of my biggest sore spots. Seeing something like that was just a number one way to hurt me online. So when it started happening in excess again, I started to think that maybe it was her. Maybe she'd gone back to that way of being, but I didn't want to think that because we'd been so good the last time we talked. The last time we emailed, it had been lovely, with her catching up on my life and me doing the same back. I didn't know she was going to use everything to try and paint me as something I'm not. And I didn't think I needed to use a VPN so she wouldn't get my IP address. She had shown me pictures of her daughter and been so supportive of my channel, I thought we were okay. So this is quite a lengthy statement, and it seems from here Shannon is just reaffirming that she's been spoofed, her IP address has been spoofed, all of this stuff, she's received death threats, this person, Amy person, has allegedly said things about her family, friends, doxed people. But then this next part is kind of interesting because Shannon does say that's not to say I haven't made mistakes. So it's like, which one is it? You know, is this Amy person spoofing you, or have you been doing this yourself? We don't know. Honestly, it's very kind of distressing sounding. I don't know what to make of it completely. Here, Shannon's also claiming that she is sending out a cease and desist to this Amy person, if they even exist. We don't know at this point. Then she says she will go as far as getting a full restraining order out if she has to protect herself, protect her family. But that this would also stop this Amy person from being able to get a job or anything like that. I really don't know what to make of this. I mean, this is Creepshow, Shannon's defence for the whole situation. You guys can let me know if you think that this all sounds like a bunch of excuses or not. Shannon finished up the statement by saying that she's going to go and keep the rest of this offline, which is very interesting. Now that you're being called out, you know, oh, now it's going offline. I don't know about that. I think some people are looking for Creepshow to come and make a video on this situation. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. Okay, so that is the truth according to Shannon. Like I say, we don't know what the truth really is at the moment, whether this Amy person that Shannon talks about really exists or not. We don't know. You know, I don't want to say, oh yeah, this person definitely doesn't exist, because I don't want to make myself look stupid if it turns out that this person does. But also, there are a lot of people, a lot of friends of Shannon who are very upset right now, very hurt, who feel very betrayed. Then when you talk about Shannon's content, Shannon was one of the people who made a lot of content about Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, and she really, really went in on Shane Dawson. You know, she definitely did not give Shane Dawson an easy ride at all when it came to Shane's past clips being thrown up on the internet last summer. All of that stuff about Shane Dawson with minors that was being alleged, everything like that. When Shane Dawson was kind of cancelled, as it were, last year, Shannon was one of those channels that was in there dragging him for filth, you know. So I do know that Shannon can be kind of a little bit vicious, you know, and I'm not saying that as a mean thing at all. You know, Shannon, she makes her content, you know, and I'm not trying to discredit her for that at all, because, you know, at the end of the day, commentary channels, drama channels, we all do the same thing. We all come in here and talk about bullshit that happens on the internet, you know, we talk about influencers, what they get up to, all that kind of thing. So I'm not dragging Shannon for being a little bit vicious with influencers. I'm saying, you know, I've seen her be a little bit vicious in her content when she's talking about influencers. So what I'm getting at when I say that is, I wouldn't be completely surprised if we do actually find out that some of this is true. If it turns out that Shannon has been pretending to be her own stalker and her own haters. I'm not going to put it past anyone to do that, because right now I don't really feel like I can fully trust Shannon after everything that's come out. Let me know all your guys' thoughts on the situation, really, because I don't know what to think. This whole situation is a dumpster fire. Okay, so I'm going to go and finish off my Pan Pride makeup look, and I'll be back shortly with more content for you. So I'm going to say take care, stay safe, stay well. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please do let me know all your thoughts and opinions on this whole Creepshow Art situation. It's very messy and it's very kind of weird, and I'm like, oh, I really don't know what to think about all of this, you know. I just feel sorry for the friends of Shannon who are hurting right now. Honestly, the people like Ready to Glare, Edwin Costa, D'Angelo Wallace, anyone who had put their trust in Shannon and is now finding that trust shaken. I think that's really sad, you know. It's always upsetting when friendships go through things like this. So I really feel for those guys at the moment, and I hope they're all right. I'm just going to say, love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.